Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Rita Fleming. I'm a regenerative detoxification specialist, and every Wednesday we host these Wellness Wednesday calls. And today we're going to be speaking on adrenal health and kidney health, which is one of my favorite subjects because it's impacted me so deeply. So all of this is just for educational purposes. This is not for medical advice. But the reason I'm so passionate about this is because this information helped me to transform my own life and really get out of chronic pain, and really regenerate and heal my body, my brain, my spine, my nervous system. So I'm just passionate about sharing this information because too many people are suffering unnecessarily, when there are so many solutions. So the reason I wanted to dive into adrenal health and kidney health is because I love learning about the systems of our body, and learning about each of our systems gives us an indication into where and how we can support ourselves. So our kidneys are actually our elimination pathway for all cellular wastes. So all of our cells eat on a daily basis, in order to get energy and rebuild and strengthen. And they all also eliminate on a daily basis. So we have trillions of cells, and the cells need to eliminate, and they do that into our lymphatic system. And then our lymphatic system is basically our sewage system. And if that lymphatic system isn't cleaned up, then the cells start to get weakened, they start to get dehydrated, their ability to absorb nutrients stops, as well as their ability to absorb oxygen. And so it's really important that we clean up our lymphatic system to keep all of our cells healthy. And when we have healthy cells, we have healthy organs and tissues and glands and skin and everything else. And our kidneys are our elimination pathway for lymphatic waste. So one of my favorite things is to help people to get their kidneys filtering. And of the hundreds and hundreds of people I've worked with, I haven't yet met anybody whose kidneys are properly eliminating that lymphatic congestion. And so what we start to see is, we can be born with chronic lymphatic congestion, which we really commonly see. And so my goal is to help people clean up their lymphatic system by getting those kidneys filtering. And for me, that was so transformational and profound, because once I got my kidneys filtering, that's when I was able to really start to regenerate my body, get out of pain, rebuild my spine, all of those things. And so opening up that elimination pathway creates cellular health, cellular vibrancy. It allows your cells to absorb their nutrition, to repair, to regenerate, and to eliminate anything that's not serving us, whether it's damaged cells or viruses or bacteria or overgrowth, you name it. So that's the first component of learning about our kidneys. And there's amazing foods that can support that kidney filtration, primarily our fresh fruits, as well our lemons. Watermelons are amazing to support that kidney filtration. Cherries and tart cherries. And so we have an amazing tart cherry juice concentrate that we work with. And that's the best thing that I've found to help to get those kidneys filtering. There's also really incredible herbs that you can take on, a daily basis that you can do for maintenance. And that's something that you can, work with your local apothecary or connect in with one of us if you want recommendations. But my kidneys are something that I'm supporting on a consistent basis. It's kind of like if you take your car into the shop and you want to get it, tuned up and maintenance, it's the same with our bodies. We really need to tune up and have that maintenance for all the different systems. So there's incredible herbs that support your kidney function. And one of which is marshmallow. Another is nettles. Cordyceps is great for kidneys and adrenals, your parsley leaf. So those are great things to just add in. But my top tip for really supporting cleaning up the lymphatic system, supporting those kidneys, is just adding more fresh fruits into your life. Fruits are hydrating, they're alkalizing, they're full of electrolytes, and they're also astringent. So Imagine if you were going to clean the gunk off of your shower. Would you use kale juice or would you use lemon juice? A lemon is very astringent and it's going to actually clean off, that gunk in the shower. And it's the same in our body. We just need astringent properties to clean out the tissues. And one way that you can know that you have lymphatic congestion is the tissues are really tight. So if you're going and you're getting a massage and, it just feels like solid concrete, or that you're holding a lot of tension in the body, that's lymphatic congestion. If you're really stiff, trying to do stretching or yoga or your workouts, if you find that there's a lot of stiffness in the body, that's a sign of lymphatic congestion. And as we start to get the body alkaline through our foods, through our nutrition, through our fruits, the tension in the body starts to melt, and you regain flexibility as well. So that's an important component. Another way that you know that you're dealing with lymphatic congestion is inflammation in the body, dealing with pain. Also, allergies are a symptom of lymphatic congestion. Dandruff is actually lymphatic congestion in the head region. And so skin conditions where the body's really trying to, whether it's rashes or acne or different things, the body's actually trying to eliminate lymphatic waste through the skin, which the skin is our third kidney. And so really we want to open up the kidneys, that elimination pathway, to take the burden off of the skin. So almost everything that you can imagine has a trace back to lymphatic congestion. So if we're dealing with hypothyroidism, that's where the thyroid is under functioning. That is also where the thyroid has been impacted by lymphatic congestion or excess mucus in the body. So cleaning up the lymphatic system is number one for regenerative health. That's the foundation for really repairing the tissues and rebuilding the body. And then I wanted to share about adrenal health and how the kidneys and the adrenals really work together. So your adrenals sit on top of your kidneys, and your adrenals produce different neurotransmitters that support your brain and your nervous system, that impact your parasympathetic nervous system and your sympathetic nervous system. So all functions of the body, whether it's your pupils dilating or your breath or your heart or your vascular system or your body's ability to eliminate your bowels, that actually all has a neurological nervous system component. So if the adrenals are, down, you've been dealing with a lot of stress, or if there's an inherent weakness there, we'll see a lot of neurological weakness. And that can show up in any form, whether it's a more chronic condition such as Parkinson's or Alzheimer's or MS or other neurological weaknesses, or whether it's more not as long-standing. It can show up as asthma, because that's a really important neurological component and nervous system component when we see asthma. So anytime I'm working with somebody that's dealing with asthma, I go to the adrenals first and foremost. So the adrenals also, if they're, under functioning, things that we can see is high levels of stress, anxiety, social anxiety, irritability, shyness, not wanting to go out and interact with people. That all relates to our adrenal function. Some other really important components of our adrenals is they produce our corticosteroids to address inflammation in the body. So if there's high levels of inflammation in the body due to lymphatic congestion, then we're going to see an overproduction of corticosteroids, which impacts the adrenal glands. And so that overproduction also impacts all of our other tissues and glands and organs. And so when we see too much lymphatic congestion and inflammation, the liver will start to produce excess cholesterol, because cholesterol is how your body naturally fights inflammation and acidosis. And so if we see high levels of cholesterol, we also know, wow, there's a lot of inflammation. We also need to really support the adrenal glands to support combating that inflammation. So there's a couple ways to really get that inflammation out of the body. The first is the kidney filtration, which we talked about, because that's going to be the elimination pathway for cellular wastes, for acidosis, for that root cause of why we're experiencing inflammation in the body. And then the second is that adrenal support. And so supporting those adrenals to address that inflammation. And those adrenals also really help with tissue repair. So anytime we've had an injury or a surgery, your adrenals actually kick in to produce those steroids to help with that tissue repair and that tissue regeneration. So that's a huge component in recovery. So, just to kind of sum it up, the adrenals, they're impacting our nervous system health, our, emotional well-being, our ability to cope with stress. They're impacting our body's ability to fight inflammation and repair from injury. If we have too much lymphatic congestion combined with adrenal weakness, we start to see such things as arthritis, pain and inflammation in the joints, the breakdown or the degeneration of our tissues. So that's why it's so important to work with the whole body and really work with those adrenals and kidneys synergistically. And the other reason why it's so important to work with them together is because if our adrenals are down or not optimally functioning, the kidneys cannot filter. So we cannot get that cellular waste out of the body if those adrenals are down. And so one way to kind of check your own adrenal health and kidney health is through taking your blood pressure. And it actually is different on the right side and the left side. And that top number represents your adrenal health. And it should be between 120 and 130. And that bottom number represents your kidney health. And it should be between 60 and 70. And so one way that you can kind of see in your face and in your body, if your kidneys are struggling, we see a puffiness under the eyes. So anytime you see, puffiness right under the eyes, that's showing that the kidneys are really struggling. They really need some love and support. When we see a dark kind of bruising under the eyes, that's adrenal weakness. And so, we'll often see that even in really young children today, we'll see this adrenal bruising happening. And so basically, adrenal weakness can be passed down from generation to generation. And we've been seeing an increase in that adrenal weakness. But the beautiful thing is that we can strengthen our own adrenals and we can pass off healthier and stronger genetics to our children. And if our children are dealing with that adrenal weakness or that nervous system sensitivity or that shyness or that anxiety, they can really start to support those adrenal glands. And we're working with some amazing adrenal support. The best that I found is formulated by Dr. Bernard Jensen, and he formulated our Be Energetic formula. And that is my favorite adrenal support. So another way that we didn't talk about how the adrenals impact our health is they're really in charge of our hormone health and our reproductive health. So anytime we're seeing, ovarian cysts or fibroids, this is a sign that the adrenals have been down for a while. And the reason is that our adrenals produce progesterone, which is an alkaline hormone that counterbalances estrogen, which is an acidic hormone, and testosterone, which is also an acidic hormone. So the body needs this balance of production of progesterone and estrogen. And if the adrenals are down, then we're not getting that proper production of our progesterone. So that's a really another important component in supporting the adrenals, is that it supports your long-term reproductive health and your short-term reproductive health. So that's kind of a extensive but quick summary of how our adrenals and our kidneys impact our well-being. And, you know, the way that I think of supporting the body is just lifestyle. So, you know, things such as deep breathing, getting out in nature, really support the parasympathetic nervous system, which, you know, the adrenal glands are an important component of, and then working with herbs on a daily basis to support that adrenal health, and then working with food and nutrition. So one of the ways that the adrenals get overextended, overused, exhausted, overworked, is that they're trying to combat high levels of inflammation in our body on a daily basis. And so one way that we can naturally combat inflammation is through the foods that we're eating. So more fresh fruits, more veggies, veggie juices, all of that is going to create an alkaline environment that combats that inflammation, that cleans up the lymphatic system, which in turn will support your adrenal glands, your kidneys, and all of the other functions of your endocrine system. So let me know if anybody has any questions about any of that so far. And, you know, any takeaways or anything that you learned from today's class. Happy to take questions. And I just want anyone to know who's a guest here that, you know, we're working as a community, as a team, to share education and resources about regenerative health and regenerative solutions. And we're offering group transformations to really transform your own body, to really clean up that lymphatic system, to really alkalize the body, support the gut health, support the endocrine system health and the adrenal health. And so if you have any questions or any health goals, you know, we're here as a team, as a community, as a collective to really support you. And please reach out to the person that invited you to this so that they can share more information with you. And you're welcome to come on one of our, you know, our weekly educational calls, but also a health consultation to figure out what your goals are and what you want to work on, whether it's just having more energy or having less stress, or, you know, having more mobility, feeling more vibrant, digesting, you know, your food, or sleeping better. You know, it can be any of those really simple things. We're definitely here for you. And our community is really passionate about a few pillars, one being health, two being planetary stewardship, because we're actually only as healthy as our ecosystems. We're only as healthy as our soils. And so we're really working to regenerate our soils and work with nutrient-dense foods, because we just don't have access to that in the grocery stores. And it's pretty life-changing once you do get nutrient-dense foods into your bodies, how cravings, you know, go away, and how you start to have more energy. And so we're working at all of those levels, and we're also working to help empower people in financial freedom, because that's such a huge pillar of health. So if you have questions on any of those, we have an amazing community and mission and support, and we'd love to welcome you to be part of it. And hi, Mary, I see you have a question. Mary, you can come off of mute if you have a question.
Oh, I couldn't figure it out. Can you hear me now?
Hi, yes, welcome.
Okay. So you said something about the adrenal support supplement. Doctor, who was it? I didn't catch his name.
Yes. So Dr. Bernard Jensen created our adrenal formulation called Be Energetic, and it's amazing. You know, whoever invited you to this call can connect you with how to access that and how to get a discount on that. And it's the best adrenal formulation I've found. And I've been working with adrenal formulations for many years. It was a huge part of my own healing journey. And this one helped me to go from like a plateau in my own adrenal healing to like my next level of healing. It's really amazing.
Okay, thank you. I'll
My pleasure.
reach out to her. Thanks.
Okay, perfect. Yay. Well, thank you all so much for being here. I'm going to pause the recording.